Today we are going to do properties of addition and subtraction of integers. Children, you are already familiar with these properties as we have done it for whole numbers. First is closure property. Let's check whether integers are closed under addition or not. Now 3 plus minus 6 is minus 3. Minus 12 plus 18 is 6. Minus 24 plus minus 40 is minus 64. Thus on adding we get an integer. In general, if a and b are any two integers, then a plus b is also an integer. Thus integers are closed under addition. Let's check for subtraction. Now I hope children you remember that to subtract we change subtraction sign to addition sign and we take opposite of the second integer. So here I get 4 plus minus 8, so it's minus 4. Minus 6 plus 3, minus 3. Minus 7 plus minus 9, it's minus 16. Thus on subtracting we get an integer. In general, if a and b are any two integers, then a minus b is also an integer. Thus, integers are closed under subtraction also. Second is commutative property. Let's find out what happens if we change the order of integers. Now, first I am adding minus 4 and 10. I get 6. Then I change the order. Now I am adding 10 and minus 4. Again I get 6. So the sum remains the same. Let's take another example. Now here I am adding 11 and minus 19. So I get minus 8. Now I change the order and now I am adding minus 19 and 11. Again I get minus 8. Thus, on changing the order of integers, the sum does not change. In general, if a and b are any two integers, then a plus b is equal to b plus a. Now let's check for subtraction also. So here first I am subtracting 6 and 5. So I get 6 plus minus 5, it's 1. Then I change the order and now I subtract 5 and 6. So 5 plus minus 6, I get minus 1. So here the result changes. Now let's take another example. Now here I am subtracting minus 11 and minus 7. So I get minus 11 plus 7, so it's minus 4. Now I change the order and now I subtract minus 7 and minus 11. So minus 7 plus 11. So I get 4. Again the result changes. So if we change the order of integers, the result changes. In subtraction, the order of integers is very important. In general, if a and b are any two integers, then a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Commutative property does not hold true for subtraction of integers. Now third is associative property. Let's find out what happens if we change the order of grouping of integers. Now here I have taken three integers minus 8, 5 and minus 10. Now first I have grouped minus 8 and 5. So here I get minus 3 plus minus 10. On solving I get minus 13. Now in the second case I have grouped 5 and minus 10. So here I get minus 8 plus minus 5. And again I get minus 13. So the sum of three integers remains the same even if we change their grouping. So in general, if a, b and c are any three integers, then a plus b in brackets plus c is equal to a plus b plus c in brackets. Now let's check for subtraction. Now here I have grouped minus 8 and 5. So here I change subtraction sign to addition sign and I take opposite of 5, which is minus 5. And then I change subtraction sign to addition sign and I take opposite of minus 10, which is 10. Now on solving the bracket I get minus 13 plus 10. So it's minus 3. Now in the second case I have grouped 5 and minus 10. So here I get minus 8 minus 5 plus 10. Now on solving, 5 plus 10 is 15. Now I change subtraction sign to addition sign and I take opposite of 15, which is minus 15. On solving, I get minus 23. So if we subtract three integers in different order, the result changes. Thus, associative property does not hold true for subtraction of integers. Now next, fourth property is property of zero or additive identity. Now when 0 is added to any integer, the identity of the integer does not change. For example, 0 plus minus 7 is minus 7. Minus 5 plus 0 is minus 5. Thus, 0 is called the additive identity. What will happen if we subtract 0 from an integer? For example, 12 minus 0 is 12. Minus 19 minus 0 is minus 19. So subtraction is the integer itself. So 0 is the identity for subtraction. Now fifth property is existence of additive inverse. Now the sum of any integer and its opposite is 0. For example, minus 17 plus 17 is 0. 23 plus minus 23 is 0. In general, for every integer a, there exists its opposite minus a such that a plus minus a equal to 0 or minus a plus a is equal to 0. Thus, an integer and its opposite are called the additive inverse of each other. Now let's do some questions. Now first is what must be added to minus 37 to get minus 19? So we have to add something to minus 37 to get minus 19. Now we can understand this question by taking a simple example. What should be added to 7 to get 16? So you know it's 9. So how we get that 9? It is 16 minus 7 equal to 9. Similarly here, from minus 19 we have to subtract minus 37. Now first integer we write as it is. We change subtraction sign to addition sign and we take the opposite of minus 37, which is 37. Now the two integers have opposite signs, so we find the difference of their absolute values. So 37 minus 19 is equal to 18. The greater absolute value is positive, so our answer is 18. Let's move to the next question. Subtract the successor of minus 27 from the predecessor of minus 39. Here the word is from. So the order of the integers is very important. So first we have to write the predecessor of minus 39. And then we have to subtract successor of minus 27. And children, you already know how to find out predecessor and successor. So predecessor of minus 39 is minus 40. And successor of minus 26 is minus 26. Now first integer we write as it is. We change subtraction sign to addition sign and we take opposite of minus 26, which is 26. Now the two integers have opposite sign, so I find the difference of their absolute value. So 40 minus 26 is equal to 14. Now the greater absolute value has minus sign with it, so I put minus sign in the answer. So I get minus 14. Now let's move to the next question. From the sum of 36 and minus 45, subtract minus 76. So first we have to find out the sum of 36 and minus 45. So let's write 36 plus minus 45. And then we have to subtract minus 76. So minus minus 76. Now let's solve. Here the two integers have opposite signs, so I find the difference of their absolute value. So 45 minus 36 is minus 9. Minus sign because the greater absolute value has minus sign with it. And then I change subtraction sign to addition sign and I take opposite of minus 76, which is 76. Now the two integers have opposite signs, so I find the difference of their absolute value. So 76 minus 9 is equal to 67. The greater absolute value is positive, so our answer is 67. Now next question is add minus 52 to the difference of minus 13 and minus 92. So first let's find out the difference of minus 13 and minus 92. So I write minus 13, then I write minus sign for subtraction, and then I write minus 92. Children, be careful about the signs of the integers. Then to this I add minus 52. So here I write first integer as it is, and then I change subtraction sign to addition sign, and I take opposite of minus 92, which is plus 92, plus minus 52. Now in the first bracket the two integers have opposite signs, so I find the difference of their absolute value. So 92 minus 13 is 79. Greater absolute value is positive, so it's 79 only. Then plus minus 52. Now here the two integers have opposite signs, so I find the difference of their absolute values. So it's 79 minus 52, which is 27. Again the greater absolute value is positive, so our answer is 27 only. Now let's do the next question. The sum of two integers is minus 23. If one of the integers is 145, find the other integer. Now to find out the other integer, we have to subtract one of the given integers from the sum. So sum minus one of the integers. So it's minus 23 minus 145. So I change subtraction sign to addition sign, and I take opposite of 145, which is minus 145. So here the two integers have negative sign, so I add their absolute values. So 145 plus 23 is 168. Now you can see the common sign here is minus, so I put minus sign with our answer, so I get minus 168. Children, I hope you will be able to do worksheet questions also. Thank you.